3, 2, 1.
All right. So today we're here with Troy Baker and Marios Gavrilis, and these guys are here for the Indiana Jones video game that's coming out pretty soon, and we have a lot to talk about, you guys. Well, first of all, Troy, we may know you from multiple iconic roles, multiple versions of Loki, the Joker. My personal favorite of yours is Kanji from Persona.
Get bent, indeed.
What a champion! It's just check him out. Just Kanji's best voice lines. It's so good. And Marios, for you, we know you from many anime.
We don't have so much for Marios here. So.
Oh no, we have one of my favorite.
Thank you.
We have one of my favorite animes. We've got One Piece and Demon Slayer in there.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
There you go. Bam.
There you go. And my personal favorite is Rhino Brown. Because, you know.
Attack on Titan, man.
Yeah, man.
Have you been on this for the
I've never been on Attack on Titan.
Dude, Attack on Titan. Rainer Braun, great.
It's really good. It's really good.
I know it is. It's wonderful.
Right.
It was like it is probably the biggest anime of all times. Just like by hype and like the whole marketing around it.
It certainly has the best ratings out of
It's an epic anime.
anything.
I know, even people who don't watch anime, like normally, they're like, okay, Attack on Titan, that really got me.
It's pretty good. So now that's you guys. Hope you that's you guys. And now Indiana Jones. Can you tell us a bit about maybe one after the other about the role that you're playing and what we can expect?
Woof. You go. We're in your home country.
Oh God, I go. Well, as you said, we're doing an Indiana Jones game, which ultimately should feel like you're playing the movie. And we gave it our all. We left it all on the pitch from our side as actors in this. It's going to be an intense experience, a profound experience. Troy can talk more about like the character of Indy and how you get to play Indy, how you get to be Indy. My part as the antagonist, as the villain, Emmerich Voss, is to make your job as hard as possible. So I cannot wait for you guys to play that.
I'll give you a little background in the game in case you don't know. Our story takes place a year after the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark. We find Indiana Jones, Dr. Henry Jones, at Marshall College when someone breaks into the college and sets him on an adventure that takes him around the world. So in every way, from the story to the characters to even the way that it was shot to our amazing composer, our music, this is very much a classic Indiana Jones adventure that slots in perfectly with the rest of the movies. The difference being here is that you get to play Indiana Jones.
Finally.
Yay.
So one question for you, Marios. So you're voicing your character in the English dub and also in the German dub.
Yes.
Which is convenient for them, of course. But also what I like is that when, I just presume that Mr. Emmerich Voss is German, right?
Yeah, he's German. He is very German, but he does have his own agenda.
He's too German.
Very German.
He's very German. Yes, very German indeed. No, he is, everything he comes with, like the whole ideology. I don't want to talk about this too much because he has his own agenda. Like apart from, him representing an ideology, he very much goes after what he wants personally. And if you play this game, you'll realize that both Indy and Voss are two sides of the same metal, just morally diametrically opposite. Yeah, indeed, I did the English original. And I had the honor, the pleasure to dub myself in German, which was kind of like a weird experience, just to have myself on the headphones like, this is what I did? Oh, God, can we do this again?
That's
hey,
the take
Tom
you went
Keegan,
with,
Bethesda Machine Games, can we do one more round of shoot, please? It was a weird experience, but it was kind of satisfying.
Yeah, wait. I didn't even think about that when you like already have the version.
So what we do when we dub a game is we don't see the picture, we don't see any of the cutscenes normally. So what we have on the headphone is just the English original, and then we try to kind of like match the waveform of what.
Really?
I know it's so hard. I don't get that, man. I don't get why still to that day we don't get picture. We have no video whatsoever, so it's like flying blindly flying a plane blindly, only with the instruments, man. And you got the waveform, you got to match your own voice, and then the director goes like, you got to be a little slower, a little faster. There's a little peak there, there's a little low there. It's hard. It's kind of nitpicky, the whole work. It's not as satisfying as it could be. So that's what we did, and yeah, crazy experience.
Yeah, I think that's extra funny because then what you're matching is your own voice.
You sound just like this guy.
I know. It kind of
obviously German, but this guy was not.
German.
He was actually awful. You're doing a much better job.
I know, I'm a much better job. So I sometimes I can correct myself in German whenever I think, man, I really messed this up in English. But yeah.
Yeah. So when trying to find a voice for a character, I'm sure you have like personal progress a process that you're going through. Is there some characteristic that a character has that makes you say, "Oh, I'll change my voice accordingly," or is it just looks? Or yeah, what's that like for you guys?
How do you choose your voice?
I measure my self-doubt, anxiety, and my will to be heard, and then I make an equation out of that, and then yeah.
It's kind of the same. I mean, I never think about. This was a little bit different for me because we needed to, again, be 1981 Harrison Ford. We wanted this to feel like we're picking up the adventure with Indiana Jones in a specific timeline. So. There is a voice, there is mannerisms, there is a look that to make us believe that this is Indiana Jones at that time. So normally I wouldn't think about the physicality, I wouldn't think about the voice, I wouldn't even think about necessarily the outfit, but that was all predetermined for us. So it was a challenge for me stepping into that and making that my process, and I had to find out what I look like in that process. Because normally there's something about the character that resonates with me. Maybe it's physical, maybe it's external, but a lot of times it's going to be internal. It's going to be something about their story or something about their who they are just as a person that allows me to understand and find my way in. So this was the first time really for me to go, this is the outside. Now what does it look like for going on the inside?
For sure. I remember I came up with the voice for Voss. The very first second I read the first line when I auditioned for it. It was my instinct. And something that is very, very important for an actor is really trusting your instincts. You may not go with it eventually because the director wants to, go a different path or whatever. And in the creative process, you realize, okay, that's not really what I wanted to do in the first place. In that case, it was what I had in mind in the first place, how I envisioned the character. With his voice, with what kind of guy he is, why he's doing what he's doing, right? You got to break it down to basic human psychology, and even every villain, you never play the villain. There are no villains, so you can't come up with, I got to make it as villainy as possible. He is a villain, right? Straight up, and he sounds like a villain as well. But he uses his voice because he wants to get something from his opponents, from Indy mostly. He has a certain voice because he knows what his impact on others is: intimidating, manipulative, intense. He uses his voice as a weapon. So I try to develop that voice, but really found out why is he doing the voice, not just I'm going to do the voice. Otherwise, it becomes a superficial performance.
Awesome. All right. So India is an adventurer, right? Would you guys consider yourself as adventurers? And what is something that you admire about people that are like that?
Absolutely, we're adventurers.
For sure, we're actors.
Yeah,
you gotta be an adventurer.
There's something, and I would say that that's not just unique to us. I think that we are all adventurers. I think that there is the spirit of adventure that is in all of us. Like, that's the reason why, on some level, we get out of bed every morning, is that we're hoping that today offers some kind of opportunity. We find some kind of treasure, whether that be an ancient relic or it's love. Like, there's a treasure to be found, and I do believe that the world still holds a wonder. I do believe that there are mysteries that are out there to be solved. And so that's something that I connect with. I mean, not only this, but I've been with this IP since I was 5 years old. Like, this is the first movie that I saw in the theater. It's one of the first characters that I saw that I could relate to, that I aspired to do. I never thought, I would play him. But this is a story that I've looked at as someone who loved history, that loved reading, that loved the academic, but also be the adventurer as well. So I think, yes, there's a spirit of adventure in all of us, and that's why I want people to play this game, is to unlock that inside of them, to remind that is inside them.
What was the last adventurous thing that you guys have done personally, if you want to talk about it?
Talking to you.
Oh man, I mean, my very last adventure is very recent. I went on a trip to South America for 5 weeks. First time in South America. I went to Colombia and Argentina, Buenos Aires. And man, this trip, it was just life-changing in so many ways. And that was a true adventure. And it's part of my life is based on not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. I think this is the fate of an artist. Like if you really dig in, if you really tap into that, if you really commit to being an artist, it's not a 9-to-5 thing. You never know what's going to come tomorrow. What project you got to be working on. You never know how your life's going to be. Like that goes for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're an artist or not. But even more so for us. And yeah, just going to Colombia, meeting these like beautifully these beautiful people, the hospitality. It changed my life forever, for sure. What about you? When was your last adventure?
Man, I have a 6-year-old. I have an adventure every day.
Yeah,
literally. Ever since he's been a child, I mean, like been like a small baby, like seeing my son discover a color and understand what green is, and to taste peanut butter for the first time, and that to me is a beautiful reminder that some of the most amazing adventures we can go on are the simplest. And to not take the small things for granted. So I, as an actor, am always looking for an adventure. And that was 100% this role for me. Is like, can I do this? I don't even know if I'm capable of doing this. What if I fail miserably? And of course, that's when I'm reminded that I've got an incredible team behind me. I've got an amazing cast. I have an incredible studio, like Machine Games behind me. I've got everyone at Bethesda that's supporting me and making sure that this feels as authentic as it needs to. And if I fail, they come behind me. That's one thing I love about making games rather than making TV or film is it's an incredible department of people going, don't worry, we can fix that. We can help you with that. And it's very much more of a partnership and a collaboration than it is, a solo high wire act.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm sure there's differences in the like you said, like with the waves or with the seeing an unfinished, like especially in games like a second version or something can still look very like pixely and stuff. So I bet there's a lot of imagination that you guys have to deal with. So let's say we're on an adventure. We are archaeologists. We're running around the temple. So Indy is terribly afraid of snakes. What's the worst thing that we can encounter for each of us individually?
In the game, or you mean like
no, for us at the temple right now.
What's the worst thing?
Oh, for me, I mean, snakes. Would have to be snakes. I don't like snakes. But for me, it would be if I had to be underwater in like okay, the only way out is we have to go underwater and we have to swim through that cave. Yeah. Nope. I'd be like, I think I live here now. I think this temple, I could put a bedroom over there. This will be fine. I don't need cable.
Temple, tomb, it's fine.
For sure,
yeah.
For sure. That's probably fear of deep water and fear of the unknown. Like there is some primal fear to like darkness, not knowing what's underneath you. I'm like, one of my worst fears is it's nothing to do with the temple, but with water for sure. Let's say you're in open sea in an ocean, and then the ship goes down, and you have to abandon the ship, and you're swimming. You survive, but you swim in an ocean, and there's like the Marian Trench, and then like 11 kilometers deep, and you don't know what's going on underneath you. Man, that triggers primal fear. I'm afraid of that.
Interesting. So it's not necessarily like, oh, there's sharks underneath me. It's you don't know what's
It's the unknown. It's the unknown.
Yeah. How interesting.
It's yeah, I know. It's kind of like, I don't know, like there could be monsters and demons. It could be like even nothing, like a complete void of darkness. I don't know what's going on. And that scares the out of me.
And we would see it too in the water.
I know.
We would. There it is. Marios' poop.
Okay, so no underwater adventuring for us, but and also no snakes if that's possible. So is there something, because from how I know, like, you know, people making sound effects for instance and all that, like it's like acting in front of a camera is like, you know, you're there, you're physical, you're present. I know that sometimes sound or FX artists do some weird stuff down there in those catacombs to get the sounds that they want. Is there what is the weirdest thing that you've had to do for like a performance?
Have you ever seen a mocap suit?
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
Continue.
We step on stage in this spandex unitard with silver balls all over it, and then put on a helmet that you should see some of the behind the scenes. I feel so bad for my castmates. I thought in my mind I look like that. Like in my mind, I look ruggedly handsome. I got a fedora, 5 o'clock shadow, glistening with just the perfect amount of sweat. And then I see the behind the scenes, and I have like this spiky, weird hair sticking out at all points, and I'm making weird things with my faces. And I was like, you guys, they're the far superior actors because they had to look at that for 2 years. That's terrible.
I mean, just wearing the suit for me, it was the first full body motion capture gig. I had to get accustomed to it in the beginning, and I will give you that it messes with your dignity, man, as a human being. Like wearing the suit for the first time with the helmet, and you're like, what the hell are we doing here? But then it becomes your it's like your suit, like it's like your character suit. You're getting into character, and then after a while, it doesn't matter if you have the helmet with a big thing here. You have to block it. Obviously, we had a lot of scenes.
The thing is the camera, by the way, is
the camera right here, exactly. But there's like this big arm, you know, and the camera's attached here. So we had a lot of these.
It's in front of you the whole. Like,
we have the face camera, and we have all the digital cameras in the volume in the room. So and we have actual film cameras as well. So it's a big set. It's like a film set, and the scenes where we're like, you know, facing off each other, you have to block it. Like you can't be like this, like you would do in an actual movie. But we were like this and kind of like looking sideways and still pretend we're looking at each other. But it doesn't matter because you grow into it and then it becomes something very organic. I didn't find it like it was a big challenge at all in the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But yeah, okay, I get it. But always, you know, in what I'm thinking of when I see these kind of suits is like, you know, and Andy Serkis walked so we could run. I know. And that is something we should never forget. Yeah. Also, what a great guy. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, so we kind of awkwardly, we have already, I was gonna ask something like, oh yeah, would you rather be, you know, stuck on a mountain or stuck at sea? But I feel like we've already
covered that.
Yeah, we have.
But I'm afraid of heights as well. I don't know about
Are you?
Yeah, super afraid of heights, man.
It's deep water and heights, so we cover both of that. I'm kind of okay in the middle. Like.
It's all the extremes. It's like high above, but also down below. It's like,
I'm okay with heights as long as there's not like any kind of like mechanical apparatus. So like an elevator that goes, I was like, but I'll walk out on like a suspended bridge, no problem. Or I'll
oof, no, I can't do that.
That's fine with me. But it's if I have to surrender control to like, oh no, we've like the Eiffel Tower, not a chance. Not a chance.
Eiffel Tower for me is kind of okay because I know there's like safety measures. If I'm on a mountain and there's like an edge and there's no security or something like something like a railing or something I can hold on to. Man, oof! I get sweaty and I get pale.
I'm the other way around.
Oh, damn,
totally fine. Like on a mountain, I'm like, this is beautiful because I'm in control.
Interesting.
But then you put me in an elevator that goes, hey, we're going to go to the top of this
because
thing.
It's like man-made or what?
Yeah.
Versus nature.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I'm surrendering control to somebody
else.
Woof.
That makes sense. What about planes, though? Why are you afraid of flying? Because you
40,000 feet, totally fine. But there's always the point in me where I get on the plane. I'm like, okay, this is when this plane's going to go down. And someone had to remind me, is like, you know, that's arrogance, that's ego, because it's like of the thousands of flights that take off and land safely every day, you're going to be the one. I'll tell you a quick story. I'm on a flight with Jason Mewes, Will Friedle, and Corey Feldman. and we're all on a row together. And I look at Will and I go, hey guys, if this plane goes down, who gets the headline? And Will Friedle goes, oh, I'm also killed. And Corey Feldman goes, I'm absolutely getting the headline. They've been waiting for me to die for years. It's like true. It's like always be the most famous person on that plane.
Yeah.
It's like I'm going to get on it, and then all of a sudden, like...
This is why Troy and I, we never board the same plane, because I know I'm going to lose.
Oh, yeah, that's, yeah.
I'll take the next one. That's okay.
So like, yeah, but like you said, this is with the fears and all of that. It's like two sides of the same coin. It's like you said earlier,
And then we went right up to the surface.
That was, yeah, we've done it all. So, so this has that been the first time you two have worked together also?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hopefully
so
not the
It won't be the last.
It won't be the last.
yeah, I was gonna say that. So for the last question, would if you could work together again and you would work together closely on a video game, what would your characters have to be like?
Oof, you go first. I don't know.
I'll be the
tough
baddie
one.
this time.
You want to be a baddie?
Yeah.
Cool. So how about Batman or the Joker?
Oh, yeah, I do.
I'd take that
Ooh, you be
anytime.
Batman, I'll be Joker?
Yes.
I mean, two sides of the same coin again.
Or the Batman who laughs, and we kind of like share that role. And you could be the Joker side, I could be the Batman side.
I like to see a script first, and then we can
Me
work on
too,
it.
me too. And then let's talk about it again. But I like the idea.
Me too, you guys. All right, thank you guys so much. So yeah, remember Indiana Jones, der große Kreis. By the way,
Jones and the Great Circle.
yeah, it's a great circle. Yes, it is a very great circle up there.
say that line in German. Indiana Jones and
Yes.
the
Große Kreis.
große Kreis. Das Zäpfchen.
Große Kreis. December 9th.
That was not bad.